I wanted to quickly talk about how to spot fake GBA games today. Like many topics, this issue tends to get overcomplicated, with many sources citing 6 ways or 10 ways on how to spot fake games. To me, this is overkill, and I'm going to show you just one thing you can look for that provides practically 100% conclusive evidence on a game's authenticity. Now, it's going to depend on your eyesight and how visual of a person you are in terms of how quickly you can catch on. But once you develop an eye for it, you should be able to tell if a game is real or fake within seconds of seeing one, whether in real life or in an online listing that has decent quality photos. The most important thing we're going to focus on, and what will give away a fake copy just about 100% of the time, is the embossed lettering right here that says Game Boy Advance. More on that in a second. I think it's best to demonstrate with a real-world example. So I'm on eBay right now, and in the lower left I have a screenshot from the footage I took earlier so that we know what the real thing looks like in terms of the Game Boy logo on the cartridge. Let's say we're really into Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. The price point they're at is quite high, which tells me they're passing it off as authentic. But how do we know? Let's zoom in. So the Game Boy Advance lettering on the cartridge is a little blurry, it's hard to tell. In another photo they have better lighting, and now I can tell for sure this is real. Just by the boldness of the lettering, the sharpness of the edges, the texture to it. No reproduction facilities ever seem to be able to get this right. And you can see how it aligns with the lower left image of something we know is real already. There's a lot of things you can look for on this game, in this game, etc. But if you can verify the Game Boy lettering on the top of the shell matches something you know is real, it's authentic. 99% of the time. So you don't need 10 steps, you only need one. Let me give you another example and then some follow-up discussion, and hopefully I can convince you. Just quickly though, I think it's worth pointing out that the sticker is something you should be aware of as well. The existence of the stamp number here and the general good print quality are also good tells, but in this video I'm focusing on the game itself and not whether the sticker has been replaced. Alright, let's move on. Alright, I've been spending way too much time just trying to find a fake game, but let me just show you guys what my process is. See this one? I look at the logo, I can tell it's real. Looks just like mine, so I move on. That's real. That's real. We look at this one, the lettering, again, Game Boy Advance, that looks great, that is real. Here, same story, it's real. I can't find any fake ones, guys. Which actually might be a good thing. That's a good thing for everybody, right? We don't want fake stuff out there. Got a couple more Marios. That's real for sure. Again, just because of the Game Boy text. That's all I need to see. Ooh, I think I just found one. We definitely just found a fake one. See how, even though it's grainy, you can tell something's not right. The Game Boy logo here, it's very sharp lettering, almost rounded, and it's not nearly as bold as what we know is real in the lower left. Of course, this is a European copy of the game. You can see the CE logo here. Let's take a look at price charting. They have this listed for $24 loose, and I've also pulled up an image of the real thing with the CE logo. So we can see Game Boy Advance in bold. It looks just like mine in the lower left. The main thing that gives this away is all in the font on the cartridge. This listing is fake. And I wanted to pull up one like this specifically because it sort of passes itself off as real. You can see they're trying to sell it for $30. It doesn't say anywhere in here that it is a reproduction. So beware of stuff like this. I've seen a lot of information around inspecting the circuit board to determine whether the game is authentic or not. While this is certainly a good way to verify, it's not very efficient since it requires you to have a tri-wing screwdriver and the game in your physical possession. I haven't opened thousands of GBA games or anything like that, but I've opened a fair few, both real and reproduction, and I've never seen a fake or aftermarket circuit board inside of an authentic cartridge shell. And this is what I would expect. Why would any reproduction company put an aftermarket cartridge in an OEM game shell? I'm sure there are a few extremely rare cases of an authentic game shell and a board being separated, but it would never be viable for a reproduction factory to round these loose shells up since it is much lower cost and effort to injection mold thousands of new ones. It follows then, and my point is, that if we can determine that the shell itself is authentic, we can have a very high level of confidence that the entirety of the game is authentic. I found one more listing here of a fake game, and it does call itself a repro, so they're not trying to fool anybody. I really just wanted to pull this up because the image is much more clear, and I can use this as a nice side-by-side to close out the video. So to summarize all of this, when you familiarize yourself with what the imprinted Game Boy logo on the front should look like, you can start spotting fake ones very quickly without opening the game or looking at anything else. If you're shopping online and the listing photos are blurry or otherwise don't show the front of the cartridge clearly, I'd recommend asking the seller for more photos until you're convinced one way or the other. As a disclaimer, this is just a quick technique that I use personally to make sure I'm not buying fake games. It hasn't failed me yet, but I can't claim that reproduction companies will never improve or that more convincing cartridges don't already exist. So take this with a grain of salt. If you're ever unsure, a more thorough inspection is never a bad idea. But this video's already gotten a little too long, so I won't cover everything else to look out for. You can find that info in the 6 or 10 step lists I was showing earlier. Anywho, this video was kind of all over the place, but I hope you could take something from it. If you stuck around this long, I'm extremely impressed. And that's all I've got. Thanks for watching.